Alright, my friends, we are back. Sendrith is back. You might be wondering what we're doing over here. Well, I did quite a bit of swimming, and I got my swimming up to 95. A little bit of AFK swimming. I hope no GMs are watching, because I think that's technically against the rules, but I think there's worse things to worry about out there, right? Now, we are going to head to Unrest today. We're going to make the journey, and we're just going to see if we can't get started. That is assuming that we have a good enough connection to handle the zones and everything. If it gets too tenuous, then I'll have to just give up and delete this video and you'll never hear this message anyway. So if you're seeing this, that means we made it to Unrest. It did take me a while to get the servers list to pop up. You know, when you enter your password and hit enter, and then it pulls up the servers, P99 servers and other emulated servers. I don't know, I'm sure a lot of people have experienced this problem, but when your connection's a little janky-wanky, you'll just get a blank server list. And I was having that problem. I was getting the blank server list over and over again. And finally got the server list, and on the first try, after getting the server list, hit play P99 red, and it made it all the way in to character select, hit enter on the character, and got all the way into the game. So usually when the connection is janky, I'll have failures at every step of the phase. Like, I'll have a failure to bringing up the server list, and then I'll have a failure, or I'll have a failure to even logging in to the server list, you know, and then I'll have a failure to bringing up the server list, and then I'll have a failure to logging into the particular server, and then I'll get in there and I'll see my character, or I'll have a failure to where I'll get into the server and I'll just see an empty character select screen. My friend said that means the game mixed up and it puts you in the wrong server, but I'm not sure if that's the case or it just didn't really connect to my account somehow or what's going on exactly. But let's say that doesn't happen, I get past that, and then I see Sendrith, there he is. I also have a failure trying to log in. Don't Sendrith, it'll never load. It'll just freeze right there after I hit enter world. Or sometimes it'll have a loading bar that will fill up and then nothing will happen. So we had some trouble on the second step, I guess it is. But then after that, it was boom, 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 one try, which was gives me hope for the rest of this session. Ping is registering at 309, but it's too consistent for me to believe that's really must be some sort of an average ping rating. I think we are ready to go. Let me see. Our weight's down to 43. Oh, we were gonna turn in these dull pearl necklaces. Let's do that. Let's make this a quest turn-in video, and then also combine it with a journey to Unrest video. And maybe just a couple of kills at the beginning. As you can see, I've got my level 19 spells. Holy Might, that's my stun that does damage. I've got Yelp 2, just because I had enough money. I figured, why not? I've got Endure Magic. That is going to be crucial when I hit 19. And I've got Spirit Armor. Get a bit more AC out of than I'm getting with my Holy Armor. Symbol of Tranzel I'm probably not going to use, but I got it anyway. Oh, it's a 14. I could mem it right now, but I'll mem it later. And then I got Calm. Now that I see that I have Spirit of Tranzel, I'm tempted to buy the reagents I need for it, just so I have them in case I'm struggling. But nah, I don't want to rely on a buff that requires consumable reagents. You know what I mean? Like, if I can't handle the mobs without that, then I should be doing something else. That's the way I feel. I shouldn't be wasting resources like that. Alright, so we seem to be ready to go. Was there something I'm forgetting? Oh yes, turn in the dull pearl necklaces. I believe that's in Kelithan, but let me just look it up real quick. Alright guys, here we are in G Fey. We had a zone crash when we tried to zone in. Oh, my mouse is back to normal. So randomly sometimes the mouse will flick back to normal and then flick back to super slow. I wonder what causes it. I don't know. A little bit of rhymeage there. Let me pull up my NParse map. So we gotta find a drunkard. And this drunkard was a paladin with the paladins of Felwithe. He's a high elf, but he fell from grace, and now we find him over in Kelithan getting drunk all the time because his daughters have turned to the ways of the bandits. That's a pretty far fall. I mean, you know, when you grow up in a nice place like that, a nice society, and you're all three of your children, not just one or two, but all three of your daughters fall into being bandits, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, but parents might have done something wrong there, you know? There might have been some really shady stuff going on in that house. Like, this guy is a drunkard, so he's definitely feeling guilty. So what if he was like an abusive father, and that's what drove his daughters into banditry? You know what I'm saying? Like, why else did they just become bandits over in Lesser Fadark? You know, grew up in that beautiful city of Felwithe. There's like no reason to not just be content and happy. And yet, they give it all up to go hang out in some tents in Lesser Fadark. They sign up with the dervish cutthroat bandits. They're like, we want to be one of you guys. It's like, what? You know? So maybe someone was a bit too overzealous with his religious principles and inflicting them upon his children, is what I think. And they probably psychologically and even physically abused them girls. So unfortunately for them, they took the wrong path, and well, I came along and I killed them and took the pearl necklaces off of around their necks and give them back to their drunk father. So I gotta find him. I gotta find him. Let's see. Let's use our compass skills. A drunkard is located at where is? He's not. It doesn't say where he's from. I mean, where he's at. It doesn't say where I can find him on his thing. Let's see. A drunkard. What? This is probably not even going to be worth it anyways. Okay. A drunkard can be found wandering between three Caliphate platforms, starting at location 577-388, with a brief pause location at 429-392. 570-380 is where we need to start. And right now we are at negative, and the negative's increasing, so we need to head in this direction. Is it positive, positive, positive 570, positive 380? Alright, looks like we gotta go this way and then left. Up here. Oh, the negatives are, it's getting more and more negative. Everything's getting negative. This is not good. We're getting too high. We're getting really high. Oh gosh. This could take a good while. I'm not sure you guys want to watch this boring meandering of me trying to find some drunk guy, some drunk abusive father. It's racked with guilt. Oof. Okay, I'm gonna pause it. Alright, we seem to be getting in the right direction, which is basically just towards the area I'm familiar with. I don't know why I felt like I had to go into that weird part of the city that nobody goes to unless they're killing guards or something. So I feel like we are in the area. See, right now we're at positive 763, and it says he starts at, well, let me take another brief look, 577, 380. So I think that is at this 577 is like right in the middle of this bridge. But 380 is, what is it, over there? Yeah, I guess it would be over there. Nope, wrong side. It would be the opposite direction. So we're close. We're very close. The location is telling me, oh, it must be up there. Hey, how do you get up there? Hey, okay. We gotta figure out how to get up there. Alright, I'll pause it again. Okay, here we go. Backtracked a bit, and I found a ramp that heads up over there. So here we go. Gotta find this drunkard of a father, an ex-father now, because I've killed his daughters repeatedly. repeatedly. There we go. 3. Well, we got to get up to positive 5 something, and then 380. I think that's right about... See, we're right around the area, right over here. Oh, I think we see him right there. A drunkard. Hey, but he's still got his sword. Like, can you spare some coppers over to... Oh, I need something to buy. Sure. Oh, okay. Can I just give you the... I can give you these dull necklaces if you don't go anywhere. Bum-ba-da-ba. Gained experience. I didn't even see how much. It was next to nothing. Got a small leather tunic. 8 AC. Hey! That's as good as my rawhide tunic, so... Not too shabby, all in all. There we go. Alright, well that's that. Now the fun part, heading to Unrest. I gotta get my butt down off of these high platforms and head for Butcher Block Mountains. Anyways, this is gonna be a boring run. I'll just see you in Butcher Block. I'm sure you all know how to get there. Alright, we're nearly to the zone into Butcher Block. Just want to share a few thoughts. I want to remind myself by saying it, I think I'll remember. I'm going to show you when we get across the zone line. We're going to take a look at the Butcher Block map so I can show you clearly where the entrance to Dagnor's Cauldron is. And I'm going to remember to turn off the browser display on the recording software I'm using so I don't just end up showing you that map while I'm playing a bunch of EverQuest for like an hour. I'm gonna do that. There was something else. I can't remember what it is right now. Got my swimming up to 95. And that's my skill cap right now for other skills. And I thought swimming didn't cap out. But it hit 95 while AFK swimming. It didn't level up for a while, so I thought maybe it does cap out. But I remember back in the day, like, you know, we're talking like when this game was new. And I think it was in Velius like it is now, but like in the original Velius and my original Sendrith, I was low level and I leveled up swimming into the hundreds. So I think I could have gone a little higher, but 95 felt okay. I just wanted to get enough swim to where after I do spend some time grinding in Unrest and I need to make a merchant run, I might risk running to that dwarf merchant on the island in the middle. It's a really dangerous idea because there's so many crisscrossing, pathing goblins there, but I figured if I'm bound just outside of Unrest, see, look, we got a frozen game, so I'm gonna shut it down. Well, first I'm gonna open up the browser, see if the browser window pops up. It did not. Properties. Oh, there we go. Alright, there we go. Butcher Block Mountains. Let's take a look. So while that's loading, I'm going to have to Control-Alt-Delete shut down EverQuest and give it some time. Because I think my character is still active in the game. That's the ironic thing. So I have to wait for the character to leave the game. So here we are looking at Butcher Block Mountains. As you can see, we're going to zone in down here in the southeast Greater Fade Arc. And it's just a southwestern run to Dagnor's Cauldron right there. You can just cut through the fields, or if you'd like to stick to paths, you can see it's going to take you way out of your way. So I recommend heading in a southwesterly direction, and then the first path you come across, following it southward, and that'll take you to the Cauldron. Alright, so we're making that run through Butcher Block. Finally got back in. I don't want to tell you how long it took. See, here's the path that we saw on the map. We're cutting southwest already. See, the path is gonna head that way towards the merchant we often use up there when we were at the chessboard, as well as could be a good merchant to use. No, I think the best merchant closest to Dagnor's Cauldron zone line is the one at the Druid Rings. But the best closest to Unrest is the dwarf in the middle island that we are afraid to venture to. Anyway, oh, I just remembered. I should have, if I were smart, I would have a long time ago memmed Divine Aura, because it's got a long cooldown time, and I'm not going to have it ready in time for our run. I'm also going to get up my Ward Undead spell because there are undertow skeletons in Dagnor's Cauldron. The two monsters we have to worry about in Dagnor's Cauldron are undertow skeletons and the goblins. Goblins range, I think, lower level ones are 12. There are level 16 goblins, I believe, if I'm right. Or are they 18? I forget. And then there's level 24 goblins. Those are the title lords that we are definitely going to be afraid of. The title lords and the level 18 goblins are both, I think, shamans. Just to add extra woe. Because everyone loves fighting a shaman. See, there's the path you meet up with if you head southwest. And that takes you to the cauldron. We do have invisibility versus undead, so I am going to pull that up as well. Might as well do that right now. And we're going to use that a lot in Unrest, but we're also going to use it on the way, because we can use it to at least make us invisible to the undertow skeletons, which are level 16, that are wandering around there. Now when we go in, there's going to be a long canyon. I'm sure most people watching this are familiar, but maybe some aren't. It's going to be a long, winding canyon downward to the cauldron itself. And that canyon is safe. There's no mobs in that canyon. It's right when you get out of that canyon that the problems begin. But the way to do it is Dagnor's Cauldron's got this huge lake. We're going to look at a map in a second. Dagnor's Cauldron's got this huge lake with an island in the middle. And our goal, Unrest, is pretty much on the opposite side of the map from where we zone in. We zone in on the southernmost portion of the map. Okay, so I was wrong. It's not. We don't zone in on the southernmost. We zone in on the northernmost portion of the map. And as you can see, we have this winding path through the canyon here. And we spill out here. And usually, I'll make a straight run along the western side of the lake, hugging the lake itself, and head for the State of Unrest, which is at the bottom of the map there. And that's what we're going to attempt to do here. We're going to run through the canyon. You see number 1? That's an important spot to take a brief break. There are 4 NPCs there. That's why it's called the... I forget the name of it. It had a special name that's not listed here on the wiki. But they will kill any pathers that come across their way that would be KOS to you. So you can retreat to them if you're close to them. They will help you out. You can consider them the guards of the zone, but they're the only ones who are going to help you in the zone. So I run to their camp first. The other camps, like number 5, you want to avoid. It's Aqua Goblin camp. And you got to hope you get lucky and keep your eyes peeled for Goblin Title Lords or any NPCs. Try to steer around them. So here we are in the canyon. This is what the canyon looks like. I'm going to pause it as we get through this, and I'll resume as we get to the dangerous part. Alright, boyos, here we go. Here comes the scary stuff. We're going to throw an invisibility on against undead on ourselves. I should probably throw some buffs on, but whatever. Those aren't going to be the things that make or break it. And then here we go. We're running to the right here. Kind of straight ahead. We want to get to the water. And then cut right. There's a skeleton right there. Snakes are not KOS. No need to worry. That tent is our safe spot. Now we got 2 skeletons. But again, luckily we have invis versus undead. So we got nothing to worry about. This wouldn't be a horrible place to hunt some skeletons. They're level 16. And you could hang out right by the camp here. But the problem is the Goblin Title Lords, like that guy right there. He's a red. The other problem is the XP bonus of Unrest is what we're really after. Oh, careful. They like to go in the water. That's kind of the goblins that they are. Give him a wide berth. And then we're just going to book it and keep our eyes peeled. Got another Title Lord. Wow. We're getting real lucky on this run. 2 Title Lords so far already. Well, luckily, Sendrith is experienced with this run. Is a master of the dodging arts, the dodging of NPCs. Alright, we're about halfway through the cauldron now. That fire you see up on the ridge over there, Can't see it anymore, but that's an aqua goblin camp. And to avoid that, we're going to stick to the water, but always take a look out in the water. You should be able to see any goblins swimming. Their little heads will be bobbing up and down in the water. Alright. We made it around that. There they are, up there. Checking out the water. Looks clear so far. I guess that's the good thing about passing up the goblin title lords early on like that, is that they're over there. The rest of the run seems a bit safer. Let's take a peek up here. Looks like we're good to come up to the surface here. And you'll see the rock change color right around the entrance to Dagnor's Cauldron. Oh, looks like we got a bassoon. He is blue, but they will do some damage to you. I don't like fighting these goblins at all. I'd rather avoid them if I have the choice. And I do. Oh, kid's getting yelled at for not going to bed. Alright. This is where we're going to bind. Fortunately for us, we had a smooth journey here. Cap this video off with making our first attempt at breaking in to the Unrest house. See how it goes. If it goes south, well, we can eat a death or two. We got a nice little cushion here. I perhaps should have stayed at the Sisters and finished 19. Then I would have gotten some good new spells, such as Endure Magic, which would help me with the ghoul roots. Better AC HP buff ready to go. Oh no, yeah, I think I did get a new HP AC buff and a new AC buff, so more HP, a lot more AC, and some resist magic. We got our resist magic up to 35, but when we cast that, we'll be at 55. What am I missing from my... Oh, I was planning on getting the split paw gloves, which I think would have given me 5 more magic resistance. But I never saw them again. I saw them early on, but I never saw them again. And I was also hoping to get the tunic, which would do +8 magic resistance from Emperor Crushbone, but we're not able to solo him for sure. Probably not for a while, if ever. There's so many ads inside their house, but maybe when we're a higher level, like 24, 25, or definitely before we start working on the hags, I think we can go in there and try a solo and get that extra magic resistance. And there'll be a bloodstained mantle that drops in the fireplace, I believe. But it looks like 55 is going to be our magic resistance cap for a while. But the magic resistance is most important for the hags. But it does help with the ghouls. But we're just going to be careful. If we get rooted in melee range, then we gotta go to Nuke City on them. Gotta make sure we got single pulls, and we should be alright. Alright, I can minimize my NParse map. I don't need it. I know this zone pretty well. Let's buff up. I'm going to drop my living nuke, but I should probably keep a living nuke up, only because the first fight is going to be in the doorway, and there's a chance of getting a beetle ad, unfortunately. I'm trying to think if I need any resists that I have, like I have Endure Fire, Endure Cold. I don't think I do. I think all I'm looking to get, all that's going to hit me is going to be the root, and that's just a magic. Later on, when I'm fighting there's some zombies in there, but they're too high for me right now. But when I do fight them, I might want to throw an Endure Disease up. But for now, this is going to do it. I am scared, so I am going to med up to full. Let's see, I think I'm going to put my Ward Undead in my primary nuke spot, because that's hotkeyed at 4. That's where I usually do my nuking. And we'll keep a smite up in 5, just in case we run into anything living. We're keeping invisibility versus undead on. And I'm trying to think what else I should keep up. Maybe an expulse undead? Oh, expulse undead is my bigger one. That's my 14. And ward undead I'll keep up too, just in case I'm low on mana. Or the enemy's low on HP and I need a smaller nuke. Ooh, Shadow Pincer. That is a named beetle. I wonder what he drops. Let's take a look. Shadow Pincer. Let's go to the Estate of Unrest. What can we get from a Shadow Pincer? What are we looking at? Shadow Pincer is level 15 to level 17 warrior beetle. He can drop a crack scare. He can drop nothing of value. Nothing of value. He just happens to be named. Okay, well. Hey there, buddy. Whoa, apparently he is KOS to me? It said he is not. It said he's only KOS to druids. Well, let's go for it, man. But let's hope we get... Let's see if we can't pull him back in here without getting his buddy to join in. There we go. Alright, he's got a lead on us. We're gonna see if we can't change that here. Alright. Let's do it. Let's do it. So we're at 47%. This guy's supposed to be 15 to 17, so this is definitely a bit more of an extreme fight than what we usually end up having to do. It said he's KOS to druids in wolf form. That's his unusual. It said unusual behavior. He's KOS to druids in wolf form. I'm not a druid in wolf form, but apparently he doesn't like me either. We're doing pretty well on the RNG, but he did land a 36-point hit on us, so he's definitely capable, if the RNG goes south, of kicking our butts. And for that purpose, I'm going to hit him with another nuke right now. There we go. In fact, if he can do that, he'd hit me for 45 just a second ago. We got him on the run, but we don't want him to get to his buddies, because I think they will help him. I mean, they are beetles as well, right? Why wouldn't they help him? So let's get him with another nuke. Boom. We went up 4%. Alright, well that puts my plans back a tick, because now I've got to med up. What a weird introduction to this zone. Okay, we're pretty much good to go now. Whispering a little bit because some bedroom doors open right now. And I just want to briefly take a look at our spell bar. We do have Divine Aura up, which you don't usually see me having up, and that is mostly because the zone line here is actually, it's achievable. It's not that far from anywhere you could be in the zone pretty much, except for maybe deep in the basement, but even there you might make it out. So we're thinking we can hit that and run out of the house, and maybe make the zone without dying. So we want to have that up. We are totally ready to go. We're going to start off with a nice invis versus undead, just to make sure we don't aggro anything on our way in. It'll also give us the luxury of scouting it out, because everything inside is undead. Alright, so see, we have a lurking mummy here. He is conning even to us at 18, and he will beat us down. Ooh, I'm used to this spawn always being a ghoul. I didn't know it could be anything else. Here's the first mob we want to kill, is this ghoul here. Now, considering that these guys here are white to us, this makes me want to venture and take a look at another entrance first. Let's go check out what we find over here. We got a Darkbone skeleton, yellow, yellow. Oh, blue. This one's blue. This might be a good place to start. There's a nice easy single kill. If you fight inside, this might be a single kill too, but it feels like it's getting real risky. If you stick your neck out a little bit, would be in trouble. I'm thinking, why don't we kill this here Darkbone skeleton? And blue means just barely blue. It's going to be a tough fight. Let's med up. I mean, it's probably like 17, right? Because that other one was yellow, so that's a 19 at least. And usually the level variance is, 3, maybe 4 levels. So this is probably like the highest blue we could ever expect to be up against. Let's see how it goes. First nuke pulled off very nicely. We just took a 19-point hit. Second nuke down. Now we are at 51%. Oh, he just crushed us with double hit, 30 and 32. And he just resisted a nuke. So you can see this is a you nuke him all the way kind of fight. I would root and back up. I'm just afraid of picking up ads like the other one that's in the corner. So we're doing good enough for me to just finish him off. 51% goes to 55. There's 4% right there. And now we got a little cubby over here. Although I'm not sure if I were to pull around here, would I get in trouble with that other dark bone? Probably. But hey, there's one. There's one single kill. The next one we're hoping for is the patrol in the hallway. Now I'm used to fighting that patrol in the doorway you saw me come in. But with those two whites on either side, I'm just feeling like it's not a good spot. I mean, with the two whites on either side, what I could do is pull them out onto the balcony. But then I run the chance of getting beetle ads or other yard trash ads. And when I say run the chance, I mean it's very likely. I would know because I've had it happen before. So that's why I've decided to mix it up, try something new. I came over here and tried this back door entrance, or is this the side door or the back door? I'm not sure. But tried this other door entrance to the house. I know there's a single spawn here, and luckily he was blue. He's handleable. We might be able to handle those mummies. It would be a tough fight. We probably would want to try to start out with a nuke and then a root, backing off and seeing if we can't get lucky and land a good few nukes on him without getting beat on. Because I'm pretty sure if we went toe-to-toe with a white, like we did alright going toe-to-toe against that guy, but he resisted 1. A white could resist 2. A white would have more HP. And a white would be hitting us harder. So it would get really close, really tough. Whoa. Alright, there's a guy out there opening up the doors. Gotta keep that in mind. Now my advice is, whenever you're walking around, just have Invis versus Undead up. There's no reason not to. If we wanted, we could do some yard trash. Let's see. What does that tormented undead? Oh, I had him for a second. Target. Tormented. Oh, it's too far. Yeah, it might be wise to do some yard trash to 19. And let me see, what spells are we getting again? We're getting Spirit Armor, Calm, Daring. Okay, Spirit Armor and Daring, Endure Magic, those are our buff upgrades. And that's pretty much it as far as upgrades. Holy Might's not going to be useful to us. It's not as mana efficient as our undead nukes, and stuns are not so necessary for us at the moment. Alright, so this should be fun. I'm gonna see if there's any way we can single... Well, I'm split between trying to single pull the patrol in the hallway from this side and trying to take out a yellow Darkbone skeleton. The former is probably the smarter of the two options. Gonna start with an Invis versus Undead. Well, let's see. I could do that, or I've got another single spawn kill, but I'd be within melee range the whole time against this ghoul. But he should be easier than what we just took on. Let's do this ghoul first. See there, he rooted us right off the bat. And he resisted part of our nuke right there. There we go. Yeah, this is a good kill. And let's see, 55% goes up to... And everybody keep in mind I'm on the red server, which gives a 50% XP boost. So if you're not, adjust accordingly. But our 55% goes up to Let's see if we ever get the kill. Well, 59. So again, another 4%. So maybe you would get 2.5, 3% on blue or green. And there's a single kill, as long as you hide in the corner here. 22-minute respawn timers in the zone. Alright, we're ready to go figure out our next step. We've gotten 2 easy solo kills, but after this I'm pretty sure we're having more difficulty. But there's a chance that in one of these rooms somewhere there's a single goblin. Here's one. There's another single ghoul right outside the basement entrance here. So there we found 3 singles, and you can find them easily using your Invis vs Undead. And these walls are solid walls. You'll be pretty safe. Just avoid that doorway. I guess I should, to be extra safe, I should probably do this fight like right here, like this. Now since I got Invis Undead up, I'm just going to take advantage of it and med up to full right behind this goblin. Now we're going to open with melee, so maybe we'll get a hit off right before we start to cast. Also, seems like there's a higher chance of enemies to stun you on that first hit, so get that out of the way before we even try to cast. Why not? We're getting interrupted quite a bit, but there we go. We finally landed one. But you can see how it can get pretty close sometimes if they get a lot of big hits off on you and they interrupt you enough, or they resist a nuke. Even with constant nuking, they can outpace your damage to them. Look at this. He's got me down to 70 already. Interrupt there. They are double hitting. They're having fun with me. Look at that. I am chain nuking as much as I possibly can. He's down low enough to where I'm going to use a ward undead. There we go. 65% XP. And another med sesh. I'm going to throw the heal now. That way I can take a longer med break. Alright, we're just about ready to go here. But just to point out something, well, first let me throw on invisibility versus undead. Take no unnecessary risks. It's a good motto. Just to point out, the cool thing about this first floor that we're on right now is that it is all undead. So when you have the Invis vs Undead up, you can roam freely. Except one place you should be careful of is this bookshelf straight ahead. That bookshelf is the entrance to the basement. Now, upstairs and downstairs, there's the possibility of werewolves or werebat spawns, and those are living mobs. There's one that patrols in the barkeep room that's above fireplace. That's like always there. And also the little room outside of the animated hand room up there. But those are upstairs. Most of the spawns around the fireplace on the fireplace level, I believe, are pretty much all undead. Although you can go into one of the rooms with the Archmagus spawn or the mage spawn there, and there can be werebats that spawn there as well. But one of the spots you need to be careful of while you're doing this rotation on the first floor at our level is this bookshelf here, because at the bottom of the bookshelf there are 2 mob spawns. They can be, but aren't always, werebats, amongst other things like skeletal monks. Now I don't think you have to worry too much. I think you might even be able to go right up against it and not aggro them. This might be a good time to pull this guy. Let's try it. Yep, perfect. Single pull, and he is the only patrol around here, so we're good now. We got him. Now since he hasn't rooted us yet, oh, he just rooted us right as I rooted him. Oh, I was gonna root and back up. Oh, look, I got away. Alright, now let's take advantage of that, and let's see if we can't get a few nukes off without getting hit at all. Only one. Okay. Oh well, it was worth a try. But I'm not going to repeat it, because it's too much extra mana rooting and then having the root break that often. Just going to take him down here. So we got the patrol out of the way now. And I believe we're kind of running close to the end of the single spawns I'm aware of. We'll take a look, since we have Invis vs Undead, we'll check out a couple other rooms. The one I'm thinking of one more, but I'm pretty sure it had 2 ghouls in it, not just one. But we'll go look. Maybe it's only got 1, and I'm remembering incorrectly. He's interrupting me quite a bit now, but there we go. We landed a nuke and a max 12 damage hit. And I think without that hit, we wouldn't have killed him. So we are safe right here. As unsafe as a spot as it might feel or seem, we are safe because he is the only patrol, and he's got 22 minutes before he'll be back. I don't know how long it's going to be before the first kill that we did is back. When we're fully meted up, I'll throw on an Invis versus Undead, and we'll go see. And if he's back up, then we're in the money. We've got a rotation of spawns that keeps us fully engaged, and we don't have to worry about those lurking mummy spawns in the front. The one to the left of the door that I first came in, that's one of the spawns I usually like to have in the rotation, and that spawn usually is a ghoul, like more often than not. The one to the right deceptively looks like a single pull as well, but it's got a little cubby in that room that you can't see from that angle that has another spawn in it that's usually a ghoul. So if you try to pull that one, you will get 2. So that one's kind of off limits until we're a high enough level to handle 2 mobs. But the one on the left usually is a ghoul, and that's usually my thing. I kill the patrol at the front door, med up. Next, I go to the left, kill that single spawn in the hole there, med up in that cubby spot there, and then kill the one in the room in the little corner next to the bookshelf. And I just progress that way, and then later I'm coming over to this area and killing the first mob I killed this time. That's usually the 3rd or 4th or 5th mob that I kill, etc. and so on. That's what I did the first time on Sendrith on blue. But yeah, since that one corner spawn to the left of the front door was a lurking mummy, changed the plan, and I think I kind of like this plan better, because there's that front door entrance has some problems with it, and this is a safer way to do it, I think. This is a much safer spot to kill the patrol. Don't have to worry about drifting too far to the left or the right and aggroing mobs on the sides. There's no mobs on the sides here. Also, that first mob I killed, that cubby, is totally safe, whereas if I try to kill the patrol in that hallway, even if I don't aggro the mobs on the side, I could aggro mobs from behind, from outside. So this is an improvement on my previous strategy. Alright, we're almost ready to go here. As you can see on my spell bar, I pulled up center. Aside from my biggest heal that I just got healing, center is more mana efficient than any other heal I have. And it's my buff, it's my HP buff, so by using that to top off when I'm too close for my biggest heal, where that would be too much of a waste of mana, I also refresh my buff, so I don't have to worry about that wearing off. And I recently refreshed Holy Armor off camera, so we're pretty much good to go. I want to med up a bit, and then hit myself with Invis, and then med up again, and then go see if our cubby pull is back up yet. Let's hit the Invis now. I feel my skin tingle. Tingly tings. And yeah, we're just gonna see if that guy's up, see if that's the right number of spawns to keep us, maximum engagement. So we don't have to worry about trying to take out those whites to free up another spawn, so that we don't have to have med time. And look, he's back up. And let's see what he cons this time. This time he's yellow though. Well, I guess that was a problem to expect. Should we go out with a bang? Should we try a yellow mob? This guy's not up yet, so as you see, the timing is perfect. Timing was perfect there. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see if we got any other options. This is the bookshelf room. I do believe there's another room with a single ghoul. Is it here? Oh no, this is a double. Plus it's so close. There's the lurking mummy. He's white. So I guess if we were going to do something dangerous, we might want to make it this lurking mummy here. Now, let's see if we can't get enough range away from him to where we can get off a route to start. Boom. And then we can root nuke a bit. Now I am a little worried about being this close to the door. Look, that only took him to 85%. We are playing with fire with this particular fight, but we're getting lucky. The root landed and is holding 3 nukes. Each of those nukes landed for full damage. Now I'd rather get a bit closer so that I don't aggro anything through the door. Now we're just going to try to face tank him, even though he hits really hard. And you see me hugging the wall to avoid even the possibility of aggroing his other buddy in the corner. And boom, nice big kill right there. There we go. Now you can see why you probably don't want to try to take out a yellow. Because that was a white. That was a white. And we're almost out of mana. We didn't have any resist. Every single nuke landed for full damage. Okay, and that was a white. Oh wait, one nuke was resisted 10 damage. Out of 92, it only landed for 82. It's pretty much a full hit. We had full mana. And, yeah. Every nuke landed, no resist, and we ended up with only 16 mana. We had maybe one more nuke in us, so we could have survived 1 resist. If we had gotten 2 resists, if Root hadn't have landed and held as long as it did, we would probably had to zone. So that was a real risque move I just did right there. Not recommended, but I'm ballsy like that sometimes. And that feels like a good place to probably just end this video. I mean, at this point, we're just going to continue doing the rotation a little bit. I think I have time to do another couple kills, so I might as well film them up. Seems like my videos are getting longer these days. But we're going to med up, and then we'll see what else is available to us. Alright, we're nearly full mana, and we're also nearly full health. But I'm still tempted, just in case. Well, no, I think I'm not going to top off with the center. I think I'm just going to invis and hope I don't need that extra 10% HP. Famous last words? We shall see. Now, I'm going to go back to the second monster that I killed, because he's probably up now as well. Ooh, that was not my... Ooh, that was scary. But you see, having the invis versus the undead makes the cleric really kind of a god in these parts here. Now, I'm thinking of this here ghoul, who is now no longer a ghoul. It's a yellow lurking mummy. So, our spawns are getting replaced by unviable choices. Let's check this room. Is this room popped yet? No, but that should be soonish. Now this room's a double, so that's not gonna happen. Now we've got this lurking mummy here, and a ghoul here. And I'm wondering, no, if I were to nuke that ghoul, he would definitely, even if I were out of sight, I would definitely be adding the mummy on. So we're kind of, you know, SOL. We're kind of SOL at the moment. I'm feeling too weak to be here. Unless I go for this yellow darkbone skeleton, which I'm almost positive is death. I'm almost positive is death. Now, as I was mentioning earlier about werebats, this door right there can have a werebat. Out on the other side of it, it patrols right up to the door, and I've aggroed it God knows how many times. Now up here, I think we got carrion ghouls and barbed bone skeletons. They will just wreck our day. Oh, what? Did I just get caught? Oof. Scary. This place is just scary. But when we hit like 20, we're gonna feel like gods here. All these lurking mummies will be fair game. Until we hit 20 though. There's a dark bone and a ghoul in there. I mean, we could try pacifying. Like if we were... Okay, let's do something extra crazy. We're probably gonna have to run for the zone line on this one. But we're gonna soothe the ghoul. And see, the problem with this is, if we get ghoul rooted, that's another reason you gotta have divine aura up. If you get ghoul rooted, how do we escape to the zone line? Okay, cross your fingers. Here goes nothing. Oh, crit resist. Yep, as should have been expected. Now let's see how far we can get before we get ghoul rooted. I'm sure it's coming. We're doing alright so far. Beetles decided to add on. Here's the run to the zone line, folks. Look at that. First cast of Soothe. Crit resist. But look. Now that's a pretty expert escape there. The cool thing about running in Unrest is once you make it to that tunnel, the pathing gets a little funky with the mobs, and you're usually, it's pretty easy to keep your distance from them. There we go. We're in Dagnor's Cauldron now. So you see it can get a little spicy in there, and we might be too low. You might want to come here at 20 as a solo cleric. Might want to wait till 20 to come here. Hit 19 on the, or at least 19. 19 you get some new spells and you get some endure magic. And the extra level will help make all those lurking mummies much more viable. And if you can take lurking mummies, the occasional darkbone skeleton, and all the ghouls, you could probably feel pretty confident in your ability to venture into Unrest inside the house. But then again, maybe you could pick off some yard trash to get to 20. The thing is, there's just, I don't like doing that. There's too many ads. There's too many ads. The beetles are everywhere. There's just so many mobs that are adding on all the time. You could use your lull to separate them, but it's so much work. So there might be, you might not want to get all the way to 20 off the sisters, though you could. I think another option would be maybe some goblins in Dagnor's Cauldron. Goblins and undertow skeletons. There's 16. That's a good level for us. Okay, now here's what I was hoping for, but they're all still too close together. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull up a soothe, and we're gonna it's suicidal, I know, but we're gonna try again with the soothing of the ghoul. He resisted, but this time it was not critical, so that's good. Boom, we got the ghoul this time. Alright. But the thing is, if I pull right now, the mummy will run through the ghoul, and then we'll be in trouble. So I'm gonna med up, and I'm hoping Soothe lasts long enough so that when they reset. Oh, but another problem is, at this point, the patrol could be back up. We might get an ad from the patrol. Well, we're gonna risk it. Also, we don't even have full mana at the moment. The good thing about the mummies is they don't root you. They also, I hear, make excellent enchanter pets. In fact, I don't just hear, I leveled an enchanter here. They're decent. Ooh, gosh, we could be in trouble here. Look, he's smacking us hard. And we're getting low on mana. There we go. Need one more nuke. One more nuke. Come on, come on, come on. Boom. We got him. Alright, I'm getting out of here. Run for it. Now we're safe over here. There's no undead that wander over here. Not on P99. I believe there are some on, like, TLP servers. TLP servers, they change the spawns up a bit, but... And then even on TLP, you're safe inside the mouth over here. So that's a pretty risque finish right there for some extra fun. I hope that was enjoyable to watch, you guys. We're gonna probably cap the video on that there. We're in Unrest, where we will be a god. We will be the god of Unrest, I promise you. I'm gonna show you how clerics are the gods of Unrest, if I haven't done so already. You see me killing whites. You might even see me kill a yellow at this rate. I seem to fear nothing almost, right? Taking out whites, lulling a mob that's probably only one level below me, and then killing a white, you know? Walking around the whole zone looking Toklar Battlemaster in the face. You, Cleric with his nukes and his invis undead becomes a god of Unrest, and this is the place to be with this XP bonus, you guys. So come join, come follow my footsteps and bring your Cleric here. I know the journey here is frightening. Dagnor's Cauldron is scary, but you saw how to do it. You just got to keep your eyes open. Whenever you see one of them title lords especially, but any mob, especially goblins, you should have your invis verse up dead up. And then when you see goblins, steer clear of them, and you can make that run no problem. And come grind it out here. It's a beautiful, beautiful grind. I will see you guys next time.